such a way where you're like, it's a little annoying because he's hovering and I feel smothered. It's in that realm. And people will take the smothering to the hilt. And there are people who've been married for years and they're with a smotherer, and I kind of wonder if what they have to tell themselves to put up with it, other than they get to live in a nice house, you know, and their bills are paid. So we'll just leave it at that. Sorry. I am consciously puppeted, so I'm talked to all the time. So anyway, people have to protect me, and they have me doing this. I do and don't have the ambition on my own to do this every day, so we'll just leave it at that. I'm told what to do, period. Get it, got it, good. Thank you. Kind of tired of people not getting it. I'll walk back this way. Right. Alright. So I'm trying to decide. I have 5 different voices telling me, you know, walk back west on Locust, walk back west on Walnut. We're trying to outdo the sadistic person, so I have to ask, should I do Locust or Walnut? Because people will stage things on your path. So someone wants me to go back through Washington Square, and someone else is saying no, in fact they jerked my head around to do so. So hopefully I will be monetarily rewarded for this treatment, and when I am, I would like to split, you know, say someone coughed up 5 million. I would split that between 5 people, family members who are left behind. I would take 1 and then dole out 1 to my sister and her daughter and 2 sons. Everybody's technically an adult, but everyone's had a rough time in life for various reasons. You could go back to the core and the cause, say with me and my sister. Okay, so if we want to dig that deep, we already know there was a criminal ring that got to look a little bit quote-unquote higher level-ish. They still come across as gangster, so it doesn't matter. But they are used to being manipulative. They are from families that are that domineer people. That's not strength, that's abuse. There's a difference between assertiveness and aggressiveness. People who domineer and need to control are actually aggressive, they're rapists, they're smothery, and so forth, and they try to manipulate, and they're manipulators. So for all those people who think you're supposed to be domineering, that is not correct. Domineering is a negative word. Do you hear me? People think it's good to be domineering. Absolutely not. Thanks. It's good to be assertive and to set boundaries. And if you're in a position where, say, you're the head editor or you're a leader in your, like, you have a title where you're supposed to, like, be the boss, there's a good and healthy way to be a boss, and domineering is not part of that ingredient list. Domineering is one of the worst, most abusive things you can be. That's it. Thank you. Darien Street. We're heading west on Locust. There goes Pico, or Patco, sorry, I get those 2 mixed up. Pico is the energy company. Patco is another energy company. I'm kidding. Patco is the subway line that goes over to New Jersey. You can see it going over the Van Franca Bridge. It comes in here, and it goes all the way over to Locust and 16th. Although there's a dead section between Broad Street and 16th. If you used to be able to walk underground that whole time, so if it rained heavily and you didn't have an umbrella and you knew the system, you'd be like, you know what, I'm gonna walk underground from here all the way to 16th. You can only go to Broad Street should you go underground here, because there's what I call a dead section where they closed off everything underground for homeless encampments. And those sections are still closed as far as I know. It's like a section between Broad and 15th or 16th. I haven't been down there in a while because it's kind of gross, and it hasn't been that kept up. There's a huge concourse-ish underground at Broad and Locust. Locust is considered one of the nicer stops, so people on the Broad Street line will be like, oh, I bet she's getting off at Locust. This person looks like they're getting off at Locust. Because if you look, collegiate, or if you're wearing scrubs for the hospital, or if you look quote unquote higher class-ish, however you want to describe it. I don't know how to describe it, but people would assume you have money if you got off at the Locust stop. So, yeah. Anyway, it smells like onions here. Oh, vegetarian. I did and didn't know that this place was here on the corner. So I've been there before, but it was called something else in the past. We're going back to 2011, 2012, because I was running around like a chicken with her head cut off, desperately wanting to meet up with anyone I'd ever met in my entire life in Philadelphia. One, to see if they knew what was going on, and two, to see if, I was trying to figure out who was playing along. I also desperately needed the company, I didn't like being alone. In fact, I was scared out of my apartment, and there is something to be said for if you feel like there's an intruder or similar in your home, apartment, whatever, you don't want to go back there by yourself. I dragged my sister up first on that Monday into Tuesday of 2011, the 4th week of, and she stayed for one night and then needed to go back home. Then I stayed at a friend's house in West Philly, whose name is Sarah, GK or similar. But weird things went on there, I'm just gonna say, and there was a blizzard. It was crazy weather. We are talking, the weather played into everything. You couldn't ask for a more perfect storm. Some people would say, oh, it was a perfect storm. We can't believe they did that. So anyway, I didn't want to go back to my apartment because I was afraid to go in because of how badly I was made to believe I'd be murdered, killed. I more than 1,000% believe that someone was going to enter my apartment, or that someone was coming in and would kill me. So it's hard, and it can be done by, I guess, hard